Hi everyone, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. We are watching a transformation program from this channel. Specifically, we selected a change management, how we can transform as an enterprise change management. What is a out-of-box capability is supporting to build that enterprise or automated change management in your business environment. So DevOps change velocity is a solution to achieve the target state. So in my earlier videos I have explained this information very detailed manner. In the last two video it explained how we need to configure in the Azure side. So once you guys are understand about that Azure side, what configuration we need to do, then it is easy what are all the configuration we need to do from ServiceNow side. So if you want, if you want to understand Azure side point of view, then you can check those videos and it will help you for further understanding. So this session, what we are going to talk about is it's part of our ServiceNow configuration, how we need to do the ServiceNow configuration. So before going to this, there is a ServiceNow document available with a proper video. So here, this video, it explains that information how to do a configuration in the very simple form. So we take this video as a reference, and similar way how to do in the real-time instance we will check from our side. So here in this video, that configuration side, ServiceNow side, where we need to do is from DevOps Change Workspace. So if you go to the DevOps Change Workspace, there is a tool connection is already available. So here, click and configure type of approach ServiceNow is designed. So click and configure means we need some data from Azure point of view, and we need to do some configuration from ServiceNow point of view. So that type of approach followed in this configuration. So if you want to connect with your system, that means third party system, or with your CI/CD pipeline system, then you should go to your DevOps Change Workspace. In this DevOps Change Workspace, you need to go to your Connect tool. So once you click the Connect tool, it will display this plan, code, orchestration, artifact, and software quality related items. So what are all the tools DevOps Change Velocity is going to support? The tool name will be displayed here. So you select which CI/CD tool name you want to connect, then further things you need to do the configuration. So here we are talking about the Azure DevOps side. So if you select the Azure DevOps, then the following field you need to answer. So specifically the organization or project, which item we are going to configure. So you need to select it. The last two videos I explained the project information, not organization information. So I have used project in my real-time scenario. So I select the project here. So once the project is selected, then you need to configure that URL. So this URL, that means which URL I want to integrate from ServiceNow side. So this URL, it should have the project name as well. That means dev.azure.com/ your project name or your organization name. So here organization you called in this video. So able tutor is a organization name, and you can define your tool name what you feel like, what is a name it is apt for you to identify. You can easily uh, configure that information here. So once you have configured, then what we need to do is you need to put a password to access that item. So password where we can get it is Azure Dev Admin will give you. Azure Admin side, you collect this password and you configure it here. So there is a PAT, uh, personal access token. Some people we call it as this password or PAT. So collect these details and you configure it. For some environment, it's a security environment, so you cannot do a direct integration. So that security environment side, we need to install the mid server. Based on the mid server only we can do that integration. So for this case, what we need to do is you need to install the mid server with the proper approval. So currently these are two cloud, it's a non-security environment, so there is a mid server is not required. The next, once you configure that password, then it will ask the permissions. These are all the permissions it is available in your Azure side or not. So that means that credential it having these type of access, these type of privileges are available or not. So who can help this item is your Azure admin can help this item. Connect with your Azure admin and do this configuration. Check this configuration, the privilege is available or not. So once it is configured, then this is part of our ServiceNow activity. We need to create, next step is our ServiceNow activity. We need to create a resolver group. So in this resolver group, normally we name it as a DevOps related resolver group, and you need to tag that resolver group with the roles, that means the DevOps related roles, and you need to tag the appropriate users part of the group. So once you tagged it, then this step is going to complete, and this DevOps owner only can view what are all the pipelines, what are all the plans, what are all the repositories associated with your plan, project or organization. That group can only see it. So we are defining this restriction here. Based on the restriction, the visibility it will be defined in your ServiceNow environment. So just to read it, it's a very simple approach. There is no major item here. So once it is done, then I have mentioned what are all the prerequisites required in the Azure side and the ServiceNow side in my article. Please refer my past video and try to understand what are all the prerequisites required. So I have prepared the checklist. You can take that item as a reference here. So here you need to use that integration user name password from what is that, from Azure side. So what are all the username you have created from your side, what are all the username Azure side they have created their side, you collect that item. This is part of our ServiceNow side area. So you have some ServiceNow accounts, service accounts, right? So that service accounts you need to configure it. So once you configure this information, what it will do, it will display the project URL and other details. So it's like a very simple approach. Only thing is ServiceNow side some checklist it is required, Azure side some checklist is required. Azure side connect with the Azure admin and gather those details like service accounts, usernames, passwords, etc. And a few more item you need to install from Azure side, that is called ServiceNow uh, DevOps CI/CD. It's available in the marketplace. So these are all the prerequisite you need to do it before start that item. So once you configure those all item, the final item is it shows that what is the application name I need to do it. So you give your own application name. The based on that application name, it will create from your side, and your project and organization it having a historical data from your Azure side. So those historical data from what start date to what end date I need to import in ServiceNow side. also you can configure it. So this is representing your planning item. So those items, it will be what transferred from your Azure side to ServiceNow. So this video, it will give you the clarity how to do this item. So now what we can do is we will go and test from our environment, test environment. So same, go to the DevOps Workspace. So click the connect tool. Based on the click connect tool, we can create it. I already created a two items. So these are all the two items. So it is, one is connected and another one is a disconnected. So when I show as a connected, this system is connected with your Azure DevOps. So I followed the same type of steps highlighted in the video. So uh, based on the steps, I followed it, and finally I have enabled that connectivity from my personal instance. So once I have enabled, so I have clearly highlighted, I'm preparing this item only for the projects, not for the organization, but the video, it represents the organization. And you can see the overall status is connected. So if it is not connected properly, then you can easily understand this red color, sorry, this green color item, it will change as a red color item. So you can come to the conclusion something it is breaking from Azure side or ServiceNow side. So you need to resolve that problem. So whenever you are coming here, so you have a test connection button is there. You click the test connection button and check this handshake is happening properly or not. And what you have seen, like this project, it having a import 6198. So that means this is a transactional data. This plan transactional historical data. So this plan historical data, I have already defined that item in my configuration. So based on the date, start date and end date, it is importing that data. And if you do some configuration after that item, so you can click this enter configuration, manual configuration mode, and you can define your configuration here because it is already integrated. So if you want to change the existing one, then you can go to this option, enter manually configuration mode, and go and collect or go and change what you want to change from your side. So for example, this is a already defined one, right? So for example, if you go here and connect to tool, so the same approach. So here I want to connect with Azure DevOps. So what last video shows, the same approach we are recreating here. But over certain steps we cannot go further because it asks some token, password, etc. So I don't have it now, so I cannot do it that steps. So that's the reason I just explained that video as first, and we are moving to the next. So if I select Azure DevOps, here there are two options are there, organization and project. So mostly I can do via project, not from the organization. So it depends your business requirement, what you want, you can select it. If I select the project, then I need to give the name. So that URL name, which URL I'm going to collect, azure.com slash demo1 slash DevOps change velocity. So it allows you. So that means this URL, it is a valid URL. For any reason, if I'm not giving the right URL, it will not allow you. For example, see here, it shows an error. So when I select the project, what is a syntax is your devazure.com slash your project, sorry, your login ID, then your project. That's the way it will work. So if you see here, your organization and your project. So here organization is demo1 and your project because I selected the project. If you have only organization, what we can do is you can give only that's three syntax like https colon double slash dev dot azure.com slash demo1. It will not throw any error, it will allow you. So but when you select the project, you need to be very careful. So you need to give a two item, that means your organization ID and your project name, test1 slash demo1. After that you need to give a name. It's a user defined name. You can, you what you are visualizing, what is easy to understand, you can put it here. Click next. It will go to the next stage. So here it will ask the pat or password. uh, from here onwards the item it is going to start. So here you need to collect that information from ServiceNow, sorry, Azure side. That means called a personal access token, PAT. So OAuth 2.0 both it will support, but mostly we will use a PAT. So ask your Azure team and select that appropriate value and copy paste it here. So after this step I cannot move forward because I am using my dummy URL. So the dummy URL doesn't have that password or token now, so I cannot move forward. So once you received this item, sorry, once you came to this item, you take that video what I have showcased and do that configuration here. So once you configured successfully from your side, then finally what state you are coming here is connected state, and this is a project name. These are all the plans uh, imported from Azure DevOps to ServiceNow. This is the test connections I have done it, how many times I have tested this item, also it will display here. And the complete tool connection history also highlighted here. So it gives you a complete picture from your ServiceNow environment. So this is showing the picture of how the system connected, whether the connection is a valid connection or invalid connection, you can identify from here. So once it is done, that the connectivity it is done, then the remaining things you are going to do from Azure side, like a change acceleration point of view, and you can see the further options. So here I have created 5 applications. So you can take this application step also, it is coming in your configuration section. So you take that applications based on your requirement. So if you see, this is a sample item. This is one pipeline I have defined in my environment, and one plan it is associated, and one repository is associated. So plan, pipeline, repository all are associated with my project. So the project is available or the project is already configured in my environment. So similar type of view you need to build from your side as well. So once this point is clear, then next course of action, what are all the other configuration we need to do it, right? Other configuration means how to define the approvals or auto approvals, what is a change policy. Those are all the things pretty much important to do this. So we can see these items in upcoming video. I hope you enjoyed this session. Thanks for your time. Stay tuned with Now Experts Time channel. Good day and good boy.